Game 2 just starting. Rogers hammer. Billy throws a short weight. Looks like he's going to test his leg out right away. Looks like he's going to come out aggressive.
You got to be careful when you're down a game that you certainly don't want to get off to a poor start, end up lagging against 2, and perhaps lag off and give you the opponent some early momentum.
Well, you kind of just feel it, that the momentum has shifted.
Yeah, absolutely. Which makes it, if were I in Rogers' shoes, I would consider it absolutely critical to score anything in the first frame. 2 or 3 would be great, but
stay in the game.
Absolutely stay in the game. Again, with as strong as Billy's short game is, if he sticks this, you put yourself in a position where right first frame right out of the gate, you're lagging against 2. Well, as it turns out, green light to try and find the end of the board. That's a good aggressive stroke. And starts himself off with a 3, exactly what he needed.
Hey, John, you talked about going to Winston-Salem, Oregon. When you're up that way, why not go to Rivers Inn Sports Bar on Highway 101? That's in Harbor, Oregon, featuring 3 tournament-quality shuffleboard tables, great food, and 8 premier taps. You're guaranteed to have a good time, so you make it 2 in 1.
2 for 1. Boy, you got to like that. It's almost like happy hour.
Well, at the beginning of the game, they're both playing short. Try to keep the other person from getting a feel for the end of the board.
I got it. And interesting decision.
Put a deep deuce, maybe shallow 3 in there. Looked like a deep deuce.
Of course, he's watching very closely, Roger that is, to see how Billy shoots that. All right, well, Roger maintains the lead. I'm not sure that he wanted to go that deep, but no real harm done. He maintains control of the game at the early stages with the hammer coming. And Billy's going to try and get the speed figured out from this other end. Well, I can't believe that he would want to do that.
Oh, got a little mush shot there.
Yeah, but he didn't even consider passing it, so that's probably a good thing. I mean, he's got his aggressiveness under control, and he's not going to get himself in an early situation lagging against a couple of weights.
After that last 3 that he lagged, he might be feeling a little comfortable with his leg. Nice stick.
Of course, there's always that fine line between comfortable and over-comfortable / too confident.
Mm-hmm. They're both stroking with confidence right now.
Yep, and even though the pressure has shifted to being on Roger, he looks...
Oh, that's a critical mistake.
I was about to say he looks relaxed and confident, even though the pressure's kind of on him at this point in time. Well, obviously this could be a game changer right here.
He's got to go deep enough, but not too deep. He's got to be able to cover that weight, which is the hardest weight to do. That's a good
well,
shot.
and ultimately, you'd much rather be too close and give the person the combination rather than be a little short and the guy goes in and sticks it. Put yourself in a position where maybe you miss it back and all of a sudden you give up a big frame where you had an advantage. That's too soft. Going to run into the back weight.
Oh. That's critical.
Yeah, that just needed a little more speed. It would have been okay.
I think that's a 4.
Yep.
Well, let's see how jittery he is now.
Yeah, even though Roger has won this tournament before and Billy hasn't, Billy has so much more experience that you wonder if that's going to become a factor as the rest of this match proceeds.
Well, I said it was a match between the technician and the master.
That's a great statement. Roger elects to take a big gamble here. He did bump that weight on purpose. He's going to try and somehow get enough weights on the board to make a big frame for himself. Billy's not going to give him the opportunity.
A lot of players, lower division, would have covered that weight.
Yeah, and of course the danger of covering the weight is if you don't cover it perfect and the guy goes in there and sticks it, he can get you in a lot of trouble. He's going to back this up. Nope.
He tried to.
Yeah, what we meant there is that looked like Roger attempted to what we call back up or freeze up or set up on the weight where he puts it right up touching the weight and forces Billy to cover it. And if he doesn't cover it perfect, Roger gets a chance to stick and have 2 3s or a 2 and a 3 working.
I personally think that might have been a little bit aggressive at this stage of the game with only a leg down.
I think so too, but it's sometimes you just feel like you got to do something to stem the tide. And interesting that the 2 guys that have won the most here, Bill Melton and Darrell, are both exceedingly patient. And it is a patient man's game. That's something that sometimes takes a number of years to acquire that skill. It's not generally something that younger players, it doesn't generally come naturally to younger players.
The younger players today play way more aggressive than the players that have played a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another
That's a great recovery there.
I think they need to find. I think there needs to be a happy medium between aggressive and.
Yeah, selectively aggressive as opposed to just wide open.
Right.
But a great shot there by Roger last frame, and he lagged off there. He would have been in real serious trouble. I can't imagine with the way the momentum sits right now, had he gone down 8-3.
He would have been in full gambling mode.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Looks like a
and
shallow
more often
deuce.
than not, when either one of these players has made an aggressive move, it's generally backfired. Roger's going to hit this hard because it's a little too shallow. If he sticks it, it's just going to be an ace, and he doesn't really want that.
Unless he drives it.
Yep. Looks like he drove that into a deuce. Hard to say from down here at that camera angle, but
he's looking it over close to see if it's a deuce or a 1. Looks like it could go either way.
Yeah, that's a tough predicament when it's close enough that it's going to require a call from the officials. Obviously, if he knows it's a 2, he's going to shoot at it. But if it's a coin flip, he may have to shoot at it anyway.
This looks like what he's doing.
Yep. Roger forced him into a conservative play there.
Well, at this junction, if it was iffy and he didn't know either way, that was a smart move.
Yep.
But there's other players out there that go, you know what? I can outleg that. I'm going to do it. And they either will or won't, but most of the time it's going to cost them. I think he shot the right shot.
Yeah, if you're not 100% sure that that's a 1, you really can't afford to just try and outlag it. Of course, in a cash game, you wouldn't think twice about it.
Right, you'd have lagged.
And it's like Roger's just working on practicing his lag at every opportunity now.
Well, he definitely doesn't want to come up short.
Yeah, Billy would love to have slid that weight over to the rail there for a deuce. But he'll just hit this hard and turn Roger loose and see what happens. Well, no, he actually tried to slide it out into the middle and cover up some of Roger's lag.
Yeah, when a guy wants to leg all the time freehand up the middle, you want to try to block that middle up as possible and force him to go to the rails. Got it in there. Shallow deuce.
Yep, and again, practicing the speed of the board.
Well, if you had to bet on this game, do you think it's going to go? You think it'll go 3 games?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot there a little bit. Can I let you know after this frame?
I was going to say, let me know in a couple of frames.
I think if Billy lags a deuce or better, that he'll go on to win this game. If he lags a 1 or Roger steals a hammer or Billy lags off, Ben, I think we got a good chance of seeing a game 3. This is a really critical frame.
Splitting the line for a 1.
Yeah. Billy's not thinking about anything except just giving himself a clean board to lag on. Yeah, he did want to stick that weight. Conversely, I would expect Roger to try and stick this weight or maybe move it up a little bit. Nope. A little surprising. I would have personally tried to stick that and roll it over into maybe a shallow deuce. Yeah, looks like a solid 2 or maybe even a 3.
Looks like a 3. That was a great leg, critical time.
All right, well, you put me on the spot with a prediction.
What do you say now?
Well, I said if he lags a 2 or better, I think he's going to go on to win the game.
He just looks real comfortable to me. Looks focused. Roger's now looking like he's going in gambling mode.
Yeah, you know, Roger looked like when the first game of this second match started, like he was pressing a little bit, but he looks kind of relaxed right now and focused. You know, he's had quite a few opportunities to practice his lag now, so yeah, I think his best play is to keep the board clear, make sure he's not lagging against 2 weights.
Looks like he's trying to warm up his hands over there.
Well, it is a little chilly from here, and he is from South Texas, so.
Looks like Billy's trying to block up that middle.
interesting. Roger has lagged very few weights crossboard. Well, he did get himself on 9, which is a critical number, but yeah, as you can see by the look on his face, he really wanted and needed the deuce there.
Roger's hoping that.
Yep, he's looking for Billy to stick that weight, and if he does, good chance that Roger's going to pass it. Billy, of course, knows that.
Sometimes, even though we want to knock him off, we'll stick him, and we will give him that opportunity, which is unfortunate.
Yep. That one looked like he was trying to stick on purpose, or perhaps roll over to the rail, but he took some speed off of it. Didn't look like he was just trying to clear the board. Now that's got to be a little tempting because it's shallow enough that Billy's thinking if he does go in there, it won't be. If he goes in there deep, it'll be open. If he goes in there a little shallower, Billy could pass them both. But ultimately, you're ahead 10-9 with the hammer. You don't need any of that.
Well, if it was Darrell and Bill playing, I guarantee you they'd be just knocking weights off and going for the leg. That's how they won many, 12 championships between them. That's Bill Melton and Darrell Nelson.
Yeah, little shallow there, but he obviously knew the importance of not lagging off there.
Well, this is big. This could be a big leg for Roger coming up.
They're both 2 lags from going out.
Roger gets a 3 here.
Yep, the advantage swings to him far more than just the 1 point might indicate. Always tough to lag at that score, 10-9.
Mm-hmm.
2 puts you in a really commanding position, but if you lag off, you go from being a prohibitive favorite to an underdog. I would say Billy's almost certainly going to give him.
Introduce him.
Going to try and offer him 2 weights to stick, meaning passing it somewhere and hoping that Roger sticks it for 11 instead of lagging and perhaps getting on 12.
Yeah, he's covering the middle of the board, which I think that's what he should have done. But Roger has the option here of going for 2 or lagging. Looks like he's going to lag.
That does cut off quite a bit of board. He hasn't really lagged to the side and let it swing back in much. Most of his have been straight up the middle. And as sometimes happens when you do that, it's a little faster lane, and as we saw there.
Well, in that situation, watching Darrell through all the years, he would have stuck that way. Not saying it would have been the right shot, just.
Well, I know that Darrell's a big believer in trying to steal those critical points, steal the 9th point, steal the 12th point, if you can. No need to panic if you're in Roger's shoes. If you lag a 3 and Billy doesn't lag out, you got a chance to come back and win the game.
I think Roger's going to try to put a deep deuce in there. Or shallow deuce, I mean.
Or 3, or just
Now Billy here, he has to leg a deep one or shallow deuce. He cannot go off here.
Well, myself personally, it wouldn't bother me if I went off the board at this score.
Rogers hammer.
Well, that looks a little hot.
Yes, it is.
Barely.
Well, we're looking.
Well, that's big. Big
Yeah.
difference between 12-9 and 13-9.
If Billy keeps any weight on the board now, Rogers going to be tapping.
There's no chance he keeps his weight on the board. I don't think he wanted to throw it off the side either, but no, you're going to see Billy hit the remaining weights in this game as hard as he comfortably can.
Rogers putting the weight in the middle of the board, hoping that he sticks something. Rogers capable of legging a 4.
Absolutely, he is. Well, and again, it's even though he's obviously in a big hole, if he lags himself a 3, that he forces Billy to get out, or he has a chance to win the game. So
right,
nothing's really changed. He's 2 lags down, 2 lags from.
Billy's going to cover the. I think Billy's going to try to put a deep one in there to cover his leg. It's still going to give him a free shot at a 3, but he's got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even if it gets into a deuce.
Shallow deuce, that's an awesome shot.
Oh, yeah, that's. If you let him go down there and just put the weight where he wanted, he couldn't pick a better spot than that. Roger really doesn't have a choice. He's not even thinking about shooting at that weight.
Got game on board.
And championship.
Yep.
And the championship on the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough shot, but if you want to win, you're pretty much forced to lag here.
Yeah, he's going for the leg. That's a big shot.
Oh, that looks hot.
It is.
It is.
Billy just won the championship.
Is first.
Great job by both
the one
players.
He wanted.
Nice match.
Well, as you were talking about, John, coming out of the loser's bracket is not as difficult percentage-wise as you would think it is. That 40% you talked about may go up just a little bit.
Might have gone to 41.
Well, guys, really enjoyed a championship caliber play by Billy Melton II, and his dad here to enjoy it. I think makes it a little sweeter.
I'm sure it does. Be a special father and son moment coming up here.
They can interview him.
Yep.
Yeah, Bill Senior won it last year, and Billy backed it up this year by winning it.
Keep
Awesome
it in the
jobs.
family. I think that new nickname is Babe, by the way. Counting that 4, calling that 4. Talking about he's not going to tell us what his real nickname is. So now we all know he's Puddin'.
How many years she called you Puddin'?
All of them.
How many years she called you Puddin'?
I've known her since she worked for my dad. They took me home from the hospital when I was 43.
So at 3 years old, he got his nickname Puddin', and now we're just finding that out. Well, nice payday. Thanks, guys, for calling this championship match. Well done.
Yep,
Thank you
and
for
we're
having
going to take
us.
a little break here, and then we're going to film a little bit of some crazy 8s action.
Okay.
Mitch.
Anybody got any 5s?
What's that?
The old game Crazy 8s card.